There was a time in my life when discipline felt like punishment. Waking up early felt like loss. Studying felt like sacrifice. Silence felt uncomfortable. And I kept asking myself a quiet question I couldn't escape. Why does my brain resist the very things that would change my life? That question led me to something most people misunderstand. Dopamine detox. Not as punishment, not as deprivation, but as rewiring. Here's the truth no one explains clearly. Your brain is not broken. It's just been trained very efficiently. Every notification, every scroll, every shortcut reward has taught your brain one lesson. Easy pleasure now is better than meaningful reward later. So when you sit down to work, your brain panics. When you try to stay consistent, it rebels. Not because you're weak, but because your brain is protecting the system it knows. Dopamine detox is not about removing joy from your life. It's about changing what your brain associates with joy. I learned this the hard way. I remember days where I would plan to improve myself, but instead I'd open my phone for a minute and lose an hour. I'd promise discipline tomorrow and repeat the cycle until I realized something uncomfortable. My brain had been trained to chase stimulation, not satisfaction. So I started small, painfully small. I stopped reaching for my phone first thing in the morning. Not forever, just for 1 hour. That hour felt boring, quiet, almost empty. But something strange happened. After a few days, my mind slowed down. After a week, focus felt less forced. After a month, discipline stopped feeling like resistance and started feeling like clarity. This is how rewiring actually works. When you remove constant stimulation, your brain doesn't shut down, it resets its baseline. Tasks that once felt dull begin to feel engaging again. Effort starts to feel meaningful, and progress releases a deeper, calmer kind of dopamine, the kind that lasts. Here's the life lesson most people miss. Discipline becomes enjoyable when your brain learns that effort equals reward. Not immediately, but consistently. When you finish a workout without music, when you study without background noise, or when you sit in silence instead of escaping discomfort. At first, it feels like deprivation. Later, it feels like freedom. Because your brain starts to trust you again. You stop needing motivation because your nervous system isn't overstimulated. You stop craving shortcuts because progress itself feels good. And something shifts internally. You begin to enjoy waking up early, not because it's impressive, but because your mornings feel yours again. You enjoy focus, not because it's productive, but because it's peaceful. You enjoy discipline because it brings order to your inner world. This isn't about becoming extreme. It's about becoming intentional. You don't need to delete everything. You don't need to isolate yourself. You just need periods of low stimulation where your brain can relearn patience. Think of it like this. If your mind is always fed sugar, it will reject real food. But when sugar disappears, real nourishment tastes incredible. The same applies to your time, your attention, your life. The calm you're searching for doesn't come from doing more. It comes from removing noise. And the discipline you fear? It becomes enjoyable when your brain remembers why it exists, to protect your future self. So tonight, ask yourself one honest question. What has my brain been trained to enjoy, and who trained it? Because once you take control of that answer, discipline stops being a battle and starts becoming a quiet source of strength. Before you go, if this message slowed your mind, even for a moment, if it helped you see discipline differently, then this channel is being built for you. Here on Better Self Blueprint and Leona Star, we don't chase noise. We build focus. We build clarity. We build a better self. Quietly, intentionally, one lesson at a time. So if you're serious about rewiring your habits, protecting your attention, and becoming someone your future self will thank, take a second now, subscribe to the channel. Not for me, but as a commitment to the version of you that's choosing growth over distraction. I'll see you in the next blueprint.